Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fireplace Podcast. This is Ella, your host, and we are here with Danielle Lande. Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you so much for performing. That was
Thanks
incredible.
for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we want to know everything about you, and how do you start making music, and how do you know that was your calling?
Oh man. Wow. Yeah. No one's asked me this on camera before.
Wow.
So wait, can you ask one more time? I need to like process.
No. You're like too deep of a question.
Well, yeah, because I could go big or small, and I don't want to talk for an hour. But
I mean,
yeah,
you can
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. How do you start making music? You know, how did it all start? You can start from the beginning, or
yeah. I had like multiple phases.
Okay.
I guess. As a kid, I like casually did some piano lessons, and in middle school I was like really determined to figure out how to write a song.
nice.
I was like, the emo journaler 14-year-old type.
Okay.
So like my first like, oh shit, I can write a good song moment was in middle school.
Nice.
When I wrote my first song about an unrequited love for my best friend at the time. She'll remain unnamed.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so then I kept writing like all throughout high school, but I didn't perform any of my original music.
Okay.
That whole time. I like was very secretive about everything just because I didn't feel super comfortable in myself.
Right. Right.
Just like being an out queer teen in the time of like Prop 8, and it was just, I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable.
Would you say were you shy on stage? Like, did you ever have?
I like performed in choirs.
Okay.
And I loved performing, but yeah, I didn't have a lot of experience performing alone.
Right.
And with being so vulnerable to be like, these are songs that I wrote, like these are feelings that I had. And, I wanted to just like look perfect.
Right.
And yeah, so I like didn't let myself go there when I was younger, as far as like being openly, just vulnerable with my own writing.
Right. Absolutely.
So I stayed involved in music, but it was all like singing in groups. So like in college, I was in a jazz a cappella group.
Nice.
and spent a lot of time and energy doing that. And then it was not until my 20s after college that I like started writing songs again. I didn't write much in college.
Okay.
Like I didn't go to music school or anything like that. So yeah, but I always knew that was all I wanted to do. But I just like had trouble putting myself out there when I was young. But I knew I was like, this is absolutely my calling. And I like never quite found anything else that I had the same passion for.
Right. So like it took you just like a little bit.
I just needed the time.
Absolutely. That makes sense.
But yeah, so phase 2 of coming back into it with like this artist project, that all started in my like early to mid 20s. And yeah, it was like terrifying at first to step into like being a public performer of just myself. But once I did it the first time, it like got so much easier every time after that. And I feel like very comfortable with it now. And I can't imagine like not doing not having this.
How would you say, making music makes you feel like?
Connected to myself and to other people.
And like on stage, do you feel the same?
Yeah, I feel like I'm my calmest and most confident self when I'm performing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like a magic trick that I wish that my younger self had known, because I was like so scared to do it But if I could go back and tell myself like, no, when you're on that stage, you will feel so powerful. Like I wish I could tell myself that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, it actually also took me a while to realize the things that I wanted to do, especially music. And then, so I totally get you in that feeling that I was like, oh my God, like I want to do all these like things, but I was like too scared to go for them, especially that said playing bass was like that. I was too scared to play bass, and I was like, and then at the end I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Well, thank God you did.
Yeah. Thanks. But that's like, you know, I get you in that feeling, and it's amazing that you found that and that you want to do this now. I want to know a little more about your songs. Like what, I want you to talk about the first song and the second song, and like what was, your inspiration with those two songs, or how do you come up with the idea?
Whew. The first song, Whatever You Say, I wrote years ago, actually, when I was actually the now that I'm thinking about it, the songwriting process for that one was disjointed.
Okay.
Like I started writing it when I was pretty early, like maybe a couple months into dating the person who would become my like longest term relationship that I've had so far. And I was just really, really into her and just felt inspired to write. Okay. But as I discussed earlier, I was kind of re-entering songwriting in my early 20s, and the time in which I wrote that song was like a moment when I wasn't totally in flow with it yet. So I had that unfinished from the beginning of our relationship.
Okay.
And I ended up like a year later, when we were like long term, going back and kind of like fictionalizing a little and like saucing it up.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's kind of taken on a life of its own at that point from the original seed of like the beginning of that relationship.
Wait, could you tell everyone the name of the song?
Yeah, it's called Whatever You Say, and it's my most recently released single.
I love that song.
Me too.
I was like, I can totally like, I would send that song to someone and be like, damn, same.
Do it.
If you haven't listened to that song, go listen to it right now.
Yeah,
it's a great song. Yeah.
That.
Also, if you guys haven't listened to the performance video,
Yes, guys, please go listen to all of her songs. They're great.
Thank you. But yeah, that song, like, since it is an older one, I've been performing that for years, and that's been so many people's favorite song of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it feels very nice to
so everyone is so excited.
Finally released it. Yeah, I love that song.
Great.
Yeah, so that's that one. And hopefully there will be more love songs coming.
Absolutely.
If anyone watching wants to DM me, I'm
DM her,
single and I will write you a love song if we fall in love. Anyway, the other song, Natalia's House, was a pretty unusual process for me. I took a songwriting workshop kind of randomly.
Okay.
I've never formally studied songwriting. I just figured it out on my own. But in 2020, where are we? In 2022, summer 2022.
Oh, last year. Wow.
Yeah, I did a songwriting workshop online from Mia Follick.
Nice.
And she gave a homework assignment where we had to write down 5 details of something we did the day before, and then pick a detail, write 5 details about that, then pick a detail from that, write 5 more details.
Wow.
And then we had this, and then we had to write a song based on that. So that is like not how I approach songwriting on my own. On my own, I'm just like, what feelings am I having? And then like
just let it out.
I'm more of a Pisces about it, that shit's too organized.
I get that. Water sign.
But it was cool because I typically tend to write either about like romantic relationships, the good, the bad, the ugly, or like my relationship to my mental health or just like my own
Nice.
internal monologue, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, I've written songs about friends too, but it was just like a kind of random night that I had with my friends that I wouldn't have necessarily thought should be a song. But because of that assignment, I ended up with one of my favorite songs ever, Natalia's House. Yeah, that was all a ramble just to say that what I love about that song, and the reason why I wrote I'm in love with all my friends and not just I love all my friends, is I feel like we tend to talk the most about romantic relationships and glamorize romantic relationships, but we don't do that about our friendships that often.
I agree.
Like, why aren't there more love songs for friends?
Right.
So it felt cool that it was like, this is unusual for me that I was prompted to think about writing that as a song. And then like, yeah, why not? Why not let that take center stage? Our society in general prioritizes romantic relationships as like the end all be all of what relationships should be in your life to like have meaning. But I'm single and I'm fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, love a romantic relation, but friendship is really important and essential to a good, healthy, happy life.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I don't know why people think, you know, I'm not judging anyone, but I also feel like when you say that like friendships or relationships that are not romantic are also so important. And I've definitely been with people that like they don't understand that, so they're jealous of that, and I'm like, well, my friends are like just as important as my romantic relationship, and I need to have a balance between all of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise I just feel, you know, I don't want to neglect my relationships in general. So when I heard that song and then I got, you know, your merch, which we're going to talk about a little bit because I love her merch so much. I was like, I love this. And I relate to this so much that I'm in love with all my friends. And I'm proudly wearing that shirt everywhere. And people love it. Oh my God. You guys are going to love it too. So
yeah, I get called out when I wear it. People are like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And that has felt really exciting.
Wait,
it's my first merch.
Should we show people the shirt?
Sure.
Yeah, come on, bring it on. Bring it.
Oh shit, be careful.
Bring it on, guys. We're going to let you know where you can buy this shirt. People that are listening to the podcast, please go to see the video so you can see this lovely, lovely shirt right here. It's so beautiful.
So the orange couch is based on a song lyric, which I guess everyone just heard if they already heard my performance. Yeah, that's the famous orange couch at Natalia's house. Where
it's so good, and it says her name on the back. Yeah, people, you have to go get this shirt, and we'll let
DanielleLande.com.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, you know, go to that page right now.
Or like if you're in Los Angeles, I have them at my shows.
Yes. Also come to our shows. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah. So I heard you mention one of your relationships, which is the first song that you performed. It was about her. And then I was like, oh, so you're part of the community, the LGBT community. So I would love to talk about big time. Same. So I would love to talk about that. And how do you feel to be part of the community as a queer artist?
Two things are coming to mind.
Okay.
The first one is when I started writing music when I was 14, 15. I feel like a big part of why I kept all my songs secret and like didn't perform is because I was queer. And I think that like, you know, I had other baggage, but I think that amplified my like fear about putting myself out there dramatically. So I think just in the grand scheme of my whole life as an artist, it has been a major roadblock in just like, you know, getting to be like genuinely comfortable enough to put myself out there.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I've been out for a long time at this point, and queerness is central to every part of my life, and I'm very stoked about that. I'm very happy to be queer. So I feel like in the present moment, it's like I get the most excited when I can go support other queer artists, and I've like made so many other queer artist friends in LA, and just like I wouldn't have it any other way as far as like how my experience as an artist has been so far. Yeah, it definitely like it took a beat of like going to as many shows as I could, and like meeting as many other artists as I could, to find like people who were really inspiring to me. And like surprise, my favorite artists are like other dope queer people.
Absolutely.
And also there are just like amazing women artists in LA. But I started my own showcase kind of series called Queersound in 2018.
Awesome.
Because I was like, I wish I could get booked on a showcase that it was like a whole queer lineup.
I love that.
Because then that's a room that I'd really want to be playing to.
Right.
And I'd be excited to meet the other people on the lineup.
Right. And you want to give like that space for people to also perform that are queer.
Yeah. So I just started it because it didn't exist and I wish that it did. So that I was like, you know, trying to figure out exactly how I wanted it to run and where I wanted it to be. And we had like a handful of events before COVID, and I just brought it back. So now it's a monthly event at the Love Song Bar in downtown.
Woo.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a vibe. And they're really good people there. Like it's really good energy from the staff, and just it's really nice. So like, you know, that's like the kind of thing where it's like, as queer people in music, I feel like we just kind of have to start our own things a lot.
Absolutely.
The infrastructure isn't automatically supporting us.
Or going to like change completely just because of that, because of queer people. Yeah. We have to be starting these things. And I 100% agree.
But that's like queerness as a whole. I mean, there's a thriving queer scene in LA.
Yes.
And it's all DIY. It's not like someone from the top just like made something for us. Everything has been homegrown by the community. Yep. But I also feel like because of that, everyone is like really passionately supportive of all these events.
So Queersound, this
yes.
Is it a monthly thing? Like, well, you said yes, but is it like a set date?
Yeah, we're currently set up to have a show every third Thursday at the Love Song Bar. Yeah, super psyched.
Guys, come. Please come support.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, come support the queer community. Oh my God, I mean, I'm
a lot of people were commenting at our event last month that it felt like the most warm and homey kind of environment they had been in so far at like a queer nightlife kind of event.
Nice.
Like, yes, it's at a cocktail bar. Yes, there's entertainment, but also it almost had the energy of a living room show with people like chatting, making friends, feeling really relaxed.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I definitely want to come to the next one.
Tight.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, we have loved to have you here so much.
I've loved being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. And do you want to tell people where they can find you, where they can listen to your music, and you know, where they can buy this beautiful merch? I want more.
For sure. The merch you can find on DanielleLande.com or in person in LA. And I have music out everywhere online that one can listen to music. It's under Danielle Lande, Lande.
Oh.
And you know, I'm on the socials, etc. I have more music coming out this year, so
awesome.
That follow button is essential to be notified of future releases.
Please, guys, please go follow her everywhere. And thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.